Everybody is talking about New Year's resolutions. They're talking about losing weight, making more money, and finding love. And those things are fine. But let me tell you something that took me years to figure out. Years. I had to fall on my face more times than I can count before I finally understood this one simple truth. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how talented you think you are. I don't care how many connections you have or how much money is sitting in your bank account. If you're stepping into this new year thinking you can navigate everything on your own, you're already setting yourself up for disappointment. I've seen the smartest people in the room make the dumbest decisions because they thought their intelligence was enough. I've watched people with all the talent in the world waste it because they didn't have guidance from something higher than themselves. And I'm not just saying this because it sounds good. I'm saying this because I've been the person who tried to do it my way. I've been the person who thought I had all the answers. And let me tell you what happened. I crashed. I failed. I lost things I thought I'd never lose. I hit rock bottom so hard I didn't even recognize myself in the mirror. I looked at my life and wondered how I got there. And the answer was simple. I had been operating without God. See, when you try to navigate life without God, you're basically trying to drive in the dark without headlights. You might move forward for a little while, but eventually you're going to crash into something. Eventually, you're going to hit a wall you didn't see coming. Eventually, you're going to make a wrong turn that takes you completely off course. And then you're sitting there wondering what happened when the whole time the problem was that you didn't have the right guidance. God sees what you can't see. God knows what you don't know. God understands things about your future that you can't even imagine right now. So why would you try to step into a new year without the one who already knows how the year is going to unfold? That doesn't make any sense. That's like taking a test without studying when the teacher offered to give you all the answers beforehand. I remember a time in my life when I thought I had everything figured out. I had a plan, I had goals, I had ambition, and none of it included asking God for direction. I was moving fast, making decisions, doing what I thought was right. And every single thing I built during that time eventually crumbled. Every relationship fell apart. Every business venture failed. Every door I thought I opened ended up slamming in my face. It wasn't until I got on my knees and surrendered that things started to change. It wasn't until I said, God, I can't do this by myself, that doors started opening. Real doors, right doors, doors that led somewhere instead of nowhere. And that's when I learned that the blessing isn't in doing it alone. The blessing is in doing it with God. So as you step into this new year, I'm asking you to check yourself. Are you really planning to include God in your journey? Or are you just going to mention him when things get hard? Because that's not partnership. That's the emergency contact. God doesn't want to be your emergency contact. God wants to be your daily companion. God wants to walk with you every single step of the way. Now I know some of you are sitting there thinking about last year. You're thinking about the mistakes you made. You're thinking about the opportunities you missed. You're thinking about the times you fell short, the times you disappointed yourself, the times you disappointed other people. And you're wondering if you even deserve a fresh start. Let me answer that question for you right now. Yes, you do. See, that's the thing about God that people don't understand. They think because they messed up last year, because they made mistakes, because they hurt people or made bad decisions, that somehow God is done with them. That's the biggest lie you could ever believe. That's the enemy trying to keep you stuck in guilt and shame so you never step into what God has for you. God doesn't look at you and see your failures. God looks at you and sees your potential. God looks at you and sees who you're supposed to become. And the beautiful thing about a new year is that it's a reset. It's a chance to start fresh. But you've got to start it the right way. You've got to start by believing that your past doesn't define your future. Think about all the people in the Bible who messed up. I mean, really messed up. David was an adulterer and a murderer. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Paul used to persecute Christians. Moses killed a man, yet God used every single one of them for something great. God didn't look at their failures and say, you're done. God looked at their potential and said, you're just getting started. So who told you that your mistakes disqualify you? Who told you that because you fell, you can't get back up? Who told you that God's grace doesn't extend to you? Because whoever told you that lied to you. God's grace is bigger than your biggest mistake. God's mercy is deeper than your deepest failure. There's nothing you've done that God can't forgive if you're willing to come to him with a sincere heart. I've failed more times than I can count. I've made decisions that I'm ashamed of. I've hurt people I love. I've wasted opportunities that I should have seized. But every single time I felt God was right there waiting for me to get back up. God never left me. God never gave up on me. And God isn't giving up on you either. This new year is not about pretending your past didn't happen. It's about acknowledging your past, learning from it, and then releasing it so you can move forward. You can't change what happened yesterday, but you can absolutely change what happens tomorrow. And the first step is believing that you're worthy of the new things God wants to do in your life. Because you are. You really are. Here's the problem with a lot of people. They want new blessings, but they're still holding on to old baggage. They want God to open new doors, but they're still standing in the doorway of the past. You can't have it both ways. You can't receive what's coming if your hands are full of what's already gone. You can't hold on to yesterday's pain and expect to receive tomorrow's blessing. It doesn't work that way. Your hands are full. You're gripping onto hurt. You're gripping onto disappointment. You're gripping onto regret. And God is standing right in front of you with something better, but you can't receive it because you won't let go. Let it go. Whatever happened last year, let it go. Whoever hurt you, let it go. Whatever opportunity you missed, let it go. This is a new year. This is a new season. This is a new chapter. And you cannot write a new chapter if you keep rereading the old one. I know letting go is hard. I know that. Because when you've been hurt, that hurt becomes familiar. When you've been disappointed, that disappointment becomes comfortable in a strange way. When you've been carrying something for a long time, it becomes part of you. But just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's healthy. Just because something is comfortable doesn't mean it's good for you. Some of you are holding on to relationships that God is telling you to release. Some of you are holding on to jobs that are killing your spirit. Some of you are holding on to dreams that were never meant for you because you're afraid to reach for the dreams that are. And until you let go, you can't grab hold of anything new. Think about it like this. If I handed you a gift right now, but your arms were full of old stuff, you couldn't receive it. You'd just be standing there looking at the gift, wanting the gift, but unable to take it. That's what a lot of people do with God's blessings. God is trying to give them something new, and they can't receive it because they're still carrying old stuff. This year, I want you to make a decision. I want you to decide that you're going to let go of everything that's weighing you down. The unforgiveness, let it go. The bitterness, let it go. The self-doubt, let it go. The fear, let it go. Empty your hands so that God can fill them with something better. And I promise you, what God has in store is better than anything you're holding on to. Every single morning, the sun comes up. Have you ever really thought about that? Every single day without fail, no matter what happened the day before, the sun rises again. That's not an accident. That's not just science. That's God giving you another chance. That's God saying, here's a new day. Here's a new opportunity. Here's a fresh start. If God gives you a new beginning every single day, what do you think a whole new year represents? That's God saying, here's a fresh start. Here's a blank page. Now, what are you going to write on it? A new year is like God handing you an empty journal and saying, this is your story now. What kind of story are you going to tell? I don't care what your story looked like last year. I don't care how many chapters were filled with struggle and pain and disappointment. This year can be completely different. This year can be the year everything turns around. This year can be the year you look back on and say, that's when my life changed. But it starts with understanding that God is the God of new beginnings. Look at nature. Every spring, flowers bloom again. Trees that look dead come back to life. The whole earth goes through a process of renewal and rebirth. That's God showing you how he operates. That's God demonstrating that nothing is ever too dead to be brought back to life. Nothing is ever too broken to be made whole again. Some of you feel like certain areas of your life are dead. Your dreams feel dead. Your hope feels dead. Your faith feels dead. But I'm here to tell you that God can breathe life into dead things. God can take what looks like it's over and give it a brand new beginning. God can take the mess and turn it into a message. God can take the test and turn it into a testimony. Don't let anyone tell you that it's too late for you. Don't let anyone tell you that you've missed your chance. Don't let anyone tell you that your best days are behind you. Because as long as you have breath in your body, God can do something new in your life. As long as you're still here, there's still a purpose for you. As long as you're willing to trust God, new beginnings are possible. This year is your new beginning, not because the calendar changed. The calendar changes every year. This year is your new beginning because you're going to approach it differently. You're going to start it with God. You're going to walk through it with faith. You're going to embrace the new thing that God is doing, even when it's uncomfortable. That's what makes this year different. And here's the thing that I need you to understand. Whatever you've been dreaming about, whatever you've been hoping for, whatever vision you have for your life that scares you a little bit because it seems impossible, that's exactly the size of a dream God wants you to have. See, small dreams don't require faith. Small dreams don't require God. You can accomplish small dreams on your own. But the big dreams, the ones that make people look at you like you're crazy, those are the God-sized dreams. And those are the ones that require you to trust in something bigger than yourself. I've had people look at me like I was crazy my entire life. When I said what I wanted to do, what I wanted to become, where I wanted to go, people laughed. They said I was unrealistic. They said I needed to be more practical. They said I should get a regular job and stop dreaming so big. But I knew something they didn't know. I knew that the dream in my heart was put there by God. And if God put it there, God would bring it to pass. Your dream is not a mistake. Your dream is not random. Your dream was planted in your heart by God himself. And if God planted it, God is going to water it. God is going to nurture it. God is going to make it grow. You just have to trust the process and keep believing, even when nothing seems to be happening. The problem is that people give up on their dreams too soon. They plant the seed and then dig it up after a week because they don't see anything happening. But that's not how growth works. Growth happens underground before it ever shows above the surface. Things are happening in your life that you can't see yet. God is working in ways that you don't understand yet. But if you keep the faith, if you keep watering that dream with prayer and action, it's going to break through the surface. Stop shrinking your dreams to fit your current circumstances. Your circumstances are temporary. Your situation is temporary. But your dream is connected to your destiny, and your destiny is eternal. Don't let a temporary situation cause you to give up on an eternal purpose. Your breakthrough might be closer than you think. Your harvest might be one more day away. Don't quit now. This year, I want you to dream bigger than you've ever dreamed before. I want you to ask God for things that seem impossible. I want you to believe in things that make no logical sense, because we serve a God who does the impossible. We serve a God who makes ways out of no way. We serve a God who specializes in showing up when everything looks hopeless. Give God something big to work with this year. Let me ask you something. Are you surrounding yourself with people who believe in your dream? Are you surrounded by people who encourage you, support you, and push you to be better? Or are you surrounded by people who criticize you, doubt you, and drag you down. Because the people around you matter more than you might realize. Everybody in your life is not supposed to go with you into this new season. Some people were there for a chapter, not the whole book. Some people were there for a lesson. Some people were there to show you what you don't want. But they're not all supposed to move forward with you. And I know that's hard to hear. I know that's painful. But you cannot be connected to small-minded people and expect to live a big life. You cannot be attached to negative people and expect to have a positive year. It doesn't work like that. You become like the people you spend the most time with. So if you're spending time with people who don't believe in God, who don't have faith, who don't think big, that's going to rub off on you. I've had to let go of some people in my life whom I genuinely cared about. It wasn't easy, it hurt. But I knew that if I kept them close, they would keep me from where God was trying to take me. Some people are anchors. They keep you stuck in one place. And some people are engines. They help you move forward. You need more engines and fewer anchors in your life. This year, you've got to be intentional about who you allow to speak into your life. Not everybody deserves access to you. Not everybody should have your ear. Not everybody should be able to influence your decisions. Guard your circle. Protect your peace. Be selective about who you share your dreams with, because some people will try to talk you out of what God is trying to talk you into. Look at the people around you right now. Ask yourself honestly, are these people helping me get closer to God or further from God? Are these people pushing me toward my destiny or pulling me away from it? Are these people celebrating my wins or secretly hoping I fail? Those are important questions. And the answers might be uncomfortable, but they're necessary. This new year, decide to surround yourself with people who are going where you're going. Find people who are praying, who are believing, who are working towards something. Find people who will pray with you when you're struggling and celebrate with you when you succeed. Find your tribe. And if you can't find them, ask God to send them to you. God knows exactly who you need in your life. Let me talk to you about prayer for a minute, because this is something that a lot of people underestimate. They think prayer is just something you do before meals or when you go to church. They don't understand that prayer is the most powerful weapon you have. Prayer changes things. Prayer moves mountains. Prayer opens doors that were locked. Prayer breaks chains that were holding you back. And I'm not talking about those quick little prayers you say when you're in trouble. I'm not talking about those emergency prayers when everything's falling apart. I'm talking about consistent daily communication with God. I'm talking about making prayer a lifestyle, not just a last resort. See, prayer is not just about asking for things. Prayer is about building a relationship. Prayer is about alignment. When you pray, you're getting yourself lined up with what God has for you. You're getting your mind right. You're getting your heart right. You're getting your spirit right. Prayer transforms you from the inside out. I pray every single day, not because I'm super religious, not because I'm trying to impress anybody, but because I need it. I need that connection with God. I need that guidance. I need that peace that comes from knowing I've communicated with my Creator. Without prayer, I'm operating on my own strength, and my own strength is not enough. Start this year by praying every single day. Before your feet hit the floor in the morning, pray. Before you go to sleep at night, pray. When you're sitting in traffic, pray. When you're facing a difficult decision, pray. Make prayer your first response, not your last resort. Some of you are going through things right now that you haven't told anyone about. You're carrying burdens that nobody knows about. You're facing situations that seem impossible. But I want you to know that you can take all of that to God in prayer. God already knows what you're going through. God already knows what you need, but He wants you to come to Him. He wants to hear from you. He wants to help you. This year, develop a prayer life like never before. Set aside time every day to talk to God, not just about your problems, but about your hopes, your dreams, your fears, your gratitude. Have real conversations